What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new deck profile. First time in a long time we've done anything with Shaddolls. As you guys know, I've been uploading a couple feature matches with Shaddolls as of late, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback from you guys saying you wanted to see the deck profile for the Chaos Mekk Knight Shaddoll build I've been sort of putting together over the past couple weeks, and I'm actually pretty happy with it at this point. I've been playing it a lot lately, and it's just super fun to play. It's got a very explosive play style when going second, and can be very control based when going first, especially with cards like Winda and how powerful Winda can be. I think the deck is, I think it's super fun. I think it could have some potential going forward. I've just seen, a lot of people playing versions of Shaddoll now via, Thunder Dragon and Dino, and I think those are all great strategies, but I wanted to sort of take a step back and sort of a return to form, if you will, with Shaddoll. Because I remember back when the deck was at its peak, a lot of people were playing Chaos Shaddoll, Danko dolls, things of that nature. So I wanted to reincorporate that old strategy and throw in some Mekk Knights, because I think they work really, really well in here overall. So we'll get into the profile real quick, but also shout out to our sponsor, Imperium Duelist, for providing some amazing gaming accessories, sleeves, playmats, dice, things of that nature. I recommend checking them out. I just picked up some more sleeves from them recently. They're just fantastic sleeves and playmats all around. If you want to get them for 10% off, you can use that code in the description if you'd like to save some money. But now we'll go ahead and get into the profile. So, like I said, I've been working on this build for a little bit lately, and I think it's to the point where the only things that could be changed were just a few tech choices in the extra deck and main deck. But this is where it's at right now. Of course, it is subject to change. No deck profile is really set in stone around here. You guys know that. I like to update profiles a lot because I'm constantly changing how the profile is. So 3 Shaddoll Beast. Again, the Shaddolls play a big role in this build. It's not just a small engine. It's supposed to be more of a main way that the deck plays. It's Shaddolls. I wanted there to be a lot of Shaddoll presence in the main deck. And Beast just draws your deck. Helps you see cards you need to see, especially turn 1, via cards like Shaddoll Squamata. Playing 3 Squamata to match the 3 Beast, I think that's just a necessary. Squamata and Beast are probably some of the best Shaddolls that we have available. Then we have 2 Hedgehog. I was considering cutting this to 1, but I think, turns that you can't get into a spell, you can set him to flip up and grab a Shaddoll spell next turn, or that same turn, I should say, is very, very helpful. Also, the fact that when he's sent to the grave, he gets a Shaddoll to hand is nice, which can, fuel later fusion plays and things like that with El Shaddoll Fusion and Super Poly. So I really do like the double Hedgehog, although I was considering going to 1. 1 Shaddoll Dragon and 1 Shaddoll Falco. These guys, I think, have always been cards to play at lower numbers, because Dragon is more of a situational card that you want to send to the grave to, hit a back row. Falco, usually a prime suspect to send off Construct, just get it out of the deck immediately and then get it set to the field to do its job next turn to revive another Shaddoll out of grave. So yeah, that's the Shaddoll lineup. Pretty small as is, I guess, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Shaddolls. Yeah, 10 Shaddolls total, so that's it for the Shaddoll package. Now we'll go into the Mekk Knight engine that I'm playing in here. So we have 2 Purple Nightfall. I was considering playing 3, but I didn't want to play a huge Mekk Knight engine in here because I didn't want it to be too much of a pain when going first, because obviously opening up a lot of Mekk Knights going first is not the greatest. So I wanted to just do double Purple Nightfall, double Blue Sky, because I wanted to be able to search out the Mekk Knights as quick as possible to be able to help flood the field. And then we have 1 Indigo Eclipse, 1 Red Moon, and 1 Yellow Star. I wanted to play both Red Moon and Yellow Star for just removal factors. Be able to clear problematic back row with Yellow Star is just something I wanted to have in main deck on top of Shaddoll Dragon. So that's why I went with that Mekk Knight lineup. You could probably play a 3rd Purple Nightfall and cut a Yellow Star, I guess, but I think I just wanted to keep the Mekk Knight engine as condensed as possible and have as much utility as possible via the Red Moon and Yellow Star. Then we have some other cards here. Of course, you can forget Mathematician. Huge staple in this deck. Normal summon it, send Squamata, send Beast, draw a card, and then with the other card I'm playing in here, you can send this away to the grave to draw 2 more cards. And of course, when he dies by battle, you get to draw a card as well. So lots and lots of draw power in this deck, and I do like that a lot. It helps you get to the cards you need to see, like your fusion spells being some of the most important things in the deck. So 3 Mathematician. Then for some of the chaos stuff, 2 Wyvern Burster and 1 Collapse Serpent. I was going to go 3-1, but I found that 2-1 was just the better option. You could probably play 2-2, honestly. but I think 2-1 is nice. The ratio of light and darks in this deck is almost about even. I would say there's a little more dark than light. That's why I'm playing the double Wyvern Burster. But like I said, you could probably play 2 and 2, but I've been testing the 2-1 lately, and I've been really enjoying it. Next up is the Soldier himself, 1 Blackluster Soldier. You could play 2. In fact, in my build that I have online, I'm playing 2, but it's a 44 card build, but I'm only playing 2 Called by the Grave, because I decided to experiment with cutting Called by the Grave down, since hand traps seem to be not super prevalent in today's meta, based on the results from YCS Chicago. But this, again, is another thing that you could probably just play a second BLS of, or you could play Chaos Dragon Levianeer. I don't have a Levianeer, so if you have a Levianeer and you want to play the BLS and the Levianeer, you got options as far as Chaos Boss monsters are concerned. You can do the double BLS, and the Levianeer if you want. It's up to you. Then I have a small Perform Mage engine consisting of 1 Damage Juggler, 1 Trick Clown, and 1 Hat Tricker. These 3 cards go really well together. Good fusion targets for Construct. Hat Tricker is just a good extender for rank 4 plays. All around, just a great engine to have in here. Really do like it. I mean, since we can't play Fairy Tale Snow, I figured that was the next best bet. Now we will go into the spell lineup. I believe that's 27 monsters, be 28 with the second BLS. So keep that in mind. Now we'll go into the spells. We have triple Shaddoll Fusion. Of course, this thing is Foolish Burial on crack if your opponent does decide to leave a extra monster, or a monster from their extra deck on their field, which against most decks nowadays, that's usually going to be the case, so you just get free pluses off of this. It can fall short to Ash Blossom, which is why I'm playing 3 Call By in this build, but experimenting with 2 on the other build that I have. So this card is important. It's good to be able to protect it with Called By, but it's such a good card, and definitely a 3-up in my opinion. Then we have 2 El Shaddoll Fusion. Basically, just a quick play version of Shaddoll Fusion. You can't fuse from deck, though, with it. You can use things from hand and field. This thing is just basically a follow-up to Shaddoll Fusion in the battle phase to push for extra damage. And I do like 2. Was considering playing 3, but I'm playing the Super Poly sort of as a third pseudo El Shaddoll Fusion. And then next we have triple Call by the Grave. Like I said, important to protect a lot of your plays, so I think 3 Call By is good. Like I said, though, experimenting with 2 for the time being. Then we have a small spellbook engine. So 2 Spellbook of Knowledge and 2 Spellbook of Secrets. Basically, the way I built this deck is I was decided that I didn't need to play Spellbook Magician because you already play so many normal summonable spellcaster monsters that make Knowledge live. Or if you open like 2 Secrets, you can go Secrets to grab a Knowledge and then just Knowledge away the Secrets because you don't really need it for later. And then you just draw into this at some other point in the game, and it's probably not going to be dead. Mainly because, like I said, there's so many spellcasters that you can get on field so easily. And I didn't really have the room for Blue Boy either. I just figured I'd rather be normal summoning like Skomata or any of the Perform Mage cards or Mathematician. Because just those cards combo with Knowledge equals just more draws than Blue Boy would, so that's just why I went with the 4 Spellbook cards instead of the 2 Blue Boy. I think you don't need it in this deck. Then we have 2 Instant Fusion, helpful for going first. You can Instant Fusion out Winda or Thousand Eyes, so you got options with this card. Very nice. And then we have some other tech cards, 1 Super Polymerization, 1 Warlike Succession, and 1 Foolish Burial. I'm playing the Mekk Knights in here, right? So I'm playing Morningstar. So I wanted to be able to have the option, be able to perhaps link away a card like Construct or Shek, or maybe Winda at some point or whatever, to be able to go into Morningstar, to be able to grab this to just bring it right back so you can help build your board a little bit more. So that's the one reason I'm playing this. Super Poly, I just love in here. You got to play it, I think, with Construct and just Shaddolls in general. And then the Foolish Burial because it's just a nice starter card for the deck overall. So that is it for the main deck. I believe it's a 44 card main deck overall, so could cut it down to 40. But you'd probably have to condense the Shaddoll engine a little bit. You'd probably like cut Skomata to 2, Beast to 2, cut Hedgehog to 1, make some other small changes. But I've been playing it at 44 cards for the past couple weeks and just really been liking it. So have no problems with it yet. Then we'll go into the extra deck consisting of double El Shaddoll Winda to start. I think playing 2 is fine. This is one of the better fusions that isn't at 1. This card I think is just a really good stun factor going first. Not really too much else to be said about it. It's also an instant fusion target if you need a Shaddoll on board and have no other way to get one. So I really do like the double Winda. and I think I'll probably play it going forward. And then we have, of course, the one Shaddoll construct. This card, it's obviously its battle phase effect to destroy things is okay. I think it's kind of gotten power crept as the years have gone on. Hopefully this card will come back to 2 because I think the deck definitely needs it. This card, like, I don't see why it's been banned for so long. Just the effect, you know, that it has for just Shaddolls in general doesn't seem too great in the grand scheme of things. But although when it is summoned, you can just send a Shaddoll from deck to grave, a Shaddoll card, I should say, and that is really helpful for the Dex engine. You can send like Falco or Beast to get a draw, or Hedgehog to get a card to hand. Just very, very good. Definitely got to play the construct, especially now that it's back. One Shaq. We do have some Earth targets in the deck, and by some I mean one. I guess Mathematician's a target. I forgot about Mathematician. So you do have some targets for Shaq, and I did want to play him, so because I think Shaq can come in handy at some point. So we're playing just 4 Shaddoll fusions, and then one other fusion, which is our another instant fusion target, which is Thousand Eyes Restrict. And then we have some rank 4s, because this deck can put out rank 4s pretty easily. We have 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Trapeze Magician, and 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. I wasn't playing the Exciton going forward, but I cut a Link Monster for it because I think this card going second is just really, really strong. Trapeze Magician, for those that don't know what it does, is basically you can target a monster you control, and then it can make a second attack during that battle phase, and then it gets destroyed during the end phase. So this card facilitates a lot of OTKs. It's just really, really nice to have. Tornado Dragon is great against back row decks just to pick off the back row and Dweller, so I think you got to play there. This deck does have a nice rank 4 toolbox in it, and I do really like it. I was going to consider experimenting with Time Thief in this deck, but not really sure how that would work at the moment. Haven't really had a chance to test it. So now we'll go into the links. We have, of course, the 1 Link Karibo for the play with Thousand Eyes. Then we have 1 land for Rinkus. This card does come up a lot. I'm playing this over Wee Witch because a lot of times you do have lights and darks on your field and you need to get them in grave. And while Wee Witch does have some ability to, you know, have synergy with this deck, I think just playing land for Rinkus is just 10 times better because it's just generically easier to get into. 2 monsters as opposed to 2 darks, I guess. 1 Morning Star because, again, you play Mekk Knight, so I figured playing this is pretty nice. And then we have 1 Cerberus, 1 Unicorn for Nightmares. I'm not playing Phoenix just because the main deck already does have some back row hate. You can basically send Dragon to clear anything, or summon Yellow Star to clear anything if you need to. Although if you wanted to, depending on what you usually play against in your local area, you can change out the Cerberus for a Phoenix. I was going to include it, but I just decided not to because I'll just keep the Cerberus in this time. Then we have 1 Boral Sword because you can link climb, I guess, as in like get into higher link monsters pretty easily, because going into a card like Morningstar is pretty easy. Following up with Mekk Knight and Chaos plays, you can easily go into Boral Sword Dragon with a fusion and an Shaddoll fusion in hand. And yeah, that's it for the extra deck, and that's it for the main deck. I'm going to be doing some test hands with this deck very, very soon, so you guys can look forward to that. Just be patient. I've got a couple other deck profiles I need to get out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, the build is not set in stone. It is subject to change, and it probably will change very soon. Just got to do more testing and sort of work out more kinks. But I'm pretty happy where this deck is right now. It's super fun to play. Overall, I'd say it's pretty cheap to play as well. A lot of Shaddoll stuff's common. You can pick up the baby Chaos Dragons for like commons for real cheap. Mekk Knight stuff is pretty cheap. BLS is probably the only thing that's pretty expensive in the main deck. I think it's like 10 bucks a copy. I know the spellbook stuff is cheap. The Shaddoll fusions are cheap. Super Poly I think comes common. Succession you don't have to play. You can play Monster Reborn instead, and Call By is pretty cheap as well. You don't have to play Boral Sword. You could play Boral Dragon instead. It's not mandatory. A lot of the other Shaddoll fusions are pretty cheap as well. And Nightmare Unicorn, you don't have to play either. You could just play a Cerberus and Phoenix and cut Unicorn. So there's some budget options for you guys as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, don't forget to check out Imperium Duelist. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. Join Discord if you haven't. Follow me on Twitch to see me test this deck live if you're interested. And yeah, as always, WinnerKill signing out, guys. We'll see you in the next one.